Going to be doing a Saturday Spotlight video for this week. This one, we're going to be doing a Jessie character spotlight.
We silence the whispers.
Okay guys, so this is going to be doing our weekly Saturday Spotlight video for this week for The Walking Dead. Of course, this video was suggested by Blind Entertainment to do a Jessie character spotlight video from The Walking Dead. So of course, everybody go subscribe to Blind Entertainment. He does do some Walking Dead videos. He does some videos on the 100 and a bunch of other stuff like that. So go subscribe to Blind Entertainment. He's the one who suggested this video. So yeah, if you want to get a shout out from me, by Dan's Reviews, this is pretty much the only way to do it. You gotta be the first one to suggest the next character spotlight video, and then I will give you a shout out in next week's character spotlight video and do a spotlight on the character you want me to do. So yeah, really cool stuff. So I really like this suggestion because I think she's one of those characters that, because she's been dead for like 4 years in the show, almost 5, she's kind of being one of those characters that people are kind of starting to forget about. And Jessie was probably the one character in the first or the second half of season 5 and the first half of season 6 that was, probably the most important character in Alexandria, because yeah, Deanna got a lot of time. I almost said Deanna. Deanna got a lot of time, but Jessie was the one character that got a lot because, she was the one character that Rick was trying to be with, and, it was kind of, I remember how hyped I was to see the comic book storyline come to the small screen, and I loved it. I loved every second of it, and, I'm excited to talk about it in this video. So, Jessie's introduced in The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 12, and killed off in The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 9. So, she survives almost a full season, but I think that her character probably survived the perfect amount of time. So, she of course is introduced when she cuts Rick's hair, so, we kind of get the idea that she kind of likes him and this and, this and that, but of course she's married and she has kids, and, Peter's quite the crazy guy, so, she doesn't really do anything about it, but, to the point where Rick even loses it and kind of, because Alexandria is so difficult to get used to, she kind of helps him out, says that Carl and Judith are fine, they're just visiting, an old couple, and, she kind of lets Rick know that, hey, you're safe here, and Rick, he just can't really process the fact that they're safe and his people are safe and, that type of deal. And as we get to find out with the wolves later on in the season and the mega herd, they are not fully safe, and Alexandria isn't the place that you're going to be able to just be safe and, live there until you're dead, No, until you're old and you die and this and that. No, there's still going to be trouble. Even though it's safe, people want what you have, and people want Alexandria, and that's, how the wolves come in and stuff like that. But, Jessie's trying to tell Rick, though, at the same time that it is safe here to a degree. So, even though, they've all lost stuff and this and that. And, of course, we get to see the party and this and that. And, of course, I want to kind of mention that, we get to see Peter, of course, meet Rick. So, of course, he gets Rick a refill or whatever, and he looks at her, I'm on it, and she talks to Rick or whatever, and she's asking him, having fun, and he's like, yes, I am, and this and that. And he sees Carl with Ron and the kids, and, he kind of, he's like, yeah, it's a good view, I like that, and it's something that Rick probably never thought he'd see again with Carl. So is have friends, and, hanging out with his friends, and, this and that, and even Carl getting a girlfriend and this and that. So Rick probably didn't think that would be even possible, in this world because of, the stuff going on. So, in Alexandria, he gets to see that. And, it's pretty, that's pretty cool. And I like how Jessie kind of made Rick realize, really, she was the one that made Rick realize that this place is safe. Until, of course, we get to see kind of our first problem in Alexandria, which is Peter versus Rick. So, of course, Rick kisses Jessie at the party, and of course, she kind of likes it. She doesn't want to say it, but she likes it. You can tell, look, just look at the look on her face. It pretty much says it all. So yeah, you can tell that she kind of likes Rick, but she doesn't really want to say it, of course, because of Peter, and she kind of scared of him, which rightfully so, because of course, we find out, a few episodes later that he's actually hitting her, Sam, Ron, probably, as well, and it's pretty bad. Carol finds out about it, she's pissed, because she's like, I used to deal with this, no way that I'm letting Jessie go through this either, it looks like she's already been going through it long enough. Well, Carol's here, that's not gonna happen anymore, so she tells Rick, basically, that he's gonna have to kill him. So, of course, Yeah, so of course Rick has the gun, and I love the part where he kind of tells Peter to keep walking, and they kind of postpone it till the end of the episode where Rick tells Jessie that he can keep her and her kids safe, and she asks him, would you do this for anybody, and Rick says no, and then of course Peter walks in, unfortunately, and, they fight for Jessie, and of course Jessie out there, and then she gets hit by Peter during the fight as well. So, that's something as well. Can I please mention that window scene as well? Love that as well. So yeah, so of course, they fight for her, man do they ever. But, she even gets hit in the process by Peter, of course, the friggin' moron he is. So, yeah, so we have that, of course, and then, Rick pulls out the gun, makes the scene, and Michelle knocks him out. So, of course, at the meeting, of course, they want to maybe kick Rick out and this and that. Jessie even talks, I think, for a few minutes as well there. She witnesses Rick kill Peter. Well, first Peter kill Reg, and then Rick kill Peter by the, the request of Deanna, of course. So, do it. Pew! So, I love it, but, I think that, Jessie, after that, she kind of like, alright, well, I can't really be with Rick, that wouldn't make me look too good, so she kind of distanced herself from Rick, and of course for her kids, too, they're not stupid, they're old enough to know that, what happened and why Rick did what he did, and stuff like this, at least Ron, probably, Sam's a bit younger, but, yeah, and, of course, she does tell Rick that she's gonna teach, Rosita's gonna teach her how to, start using weapons and guns and this and that. Of course, then she has to, defend herself against a wolf in episode 2. So, she tells Sam to stay in the closet, and of course, she goes out there and she pretends, they fight and stuff like that, and then she pretends to kind of be knocked down, and then grabs the scissors and I'm like, whoa, like, it's like, that was probably one of the craziest scenes in JSS, because she just kept going at it, blood everywhere, like, I'm like, oh my god, like, she definitely is starting to adjust to the world, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, we have that, and then, of course, Jessie, afterwards, kind of doesn't really feel bad about it. She buries bodies and this and that, and she gets with Rick. So, of course, that was one thing as well I really liked, is that we finally get to see her and Rick get together. But the crazy thing is that literally after that brings me to my next point. The Walkers flood in the next day. They, of course, are stuck in the house, and really the only way to get out is to put the Walker guts on. So, of course, Sam is scared. He doesn't want to go, of course. His aunt's with cookies and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, what's going on with this kid? And the kid's just screwed up because of Carol, and then his father dies, this and that. So he just wants to stay upstairs. Nothing changed up here, as he told her and this and that. She tries, with the cookies and stuff, and it just doesn't work. But yeah, so they have to put the Walker guts on, they have to get out, and of course he just won't shut up and say Mom. So this is one of the parts I don't like, and I know this isn't about Jessie, but I want to still mention it. This is one of the worst cliffhangers ever, because I liked the cliffhanger when it released, when he was like, Mom, Mom, and then, the cliffhanger stuff, but then you go into the next episode when it returned in February, No Way Out, and they're just walking, and he's not even saying Mom anymore, and it's just like, this is like Kelly getting a zombie almost at her dumb. Like that, like in yesterday's video, if you didn't watch that, I made fun of that quite a bit. Same thing here. Please show us a scene or something of like Jessie or Rick being like, shut up, like, shut up, Sam, like, honestly, I don't really get that, it's just, it's dumb, and it took me out of the experience when I saw it, I'm not gonna lie. So, because I liked the cliffhanger at first, but then you pick up episode 9, No Way Out, and he's not even saying anything anymore. Dumb. So, Sam saying Mom, that was just a fail, because then they just ignored it pretty much in the next episode. Very dumb decision. And No Way Out's like one of the best episodes ever, so it hurts to actually say something bad about that episode. But anyway, then of course Sam freaks out. And then, of course, because of Carol, pretty much, the monsters will come, and that kind of comes back full circle. And then, Jessie seeing Sam getting killed, that kind of makes her just kind of have no, she can't, she just screams. Then, of course, the Walkers come at her, and Rick has no choice, but at this point, because Carl's arm is stuck, snap out of it, and chop, the hand off, of course. And, I love the red. I think the red effect was really cool, and I loved it. I thought it was really cool. So, yeah, crazy. So, Jessie, basically, throughout the series, I want to say she was a character that really made Rick go even further to, you know, try to, you know, well, yeah, they had something, and of course, they didn't really, you know, expand on the whole idea of them actually being a couple and this and that, because she got killed in No Way Out, and then Rick ended up with Michonne, but it was kind of a one-season thing. It was kind of one of those where, you know, you really got to see what Rick would do if he really did like somebody, you know? And, you know, with Lori, of course, he killed Shane, you know, just for Lori, you know, so Lori can be his again, because really, Lori was kind of in between Rick and Shane, you know? So, let's not lie here. She kind of was. And then, so we saw Rick do that, but we never really got to see Rick be almost on like Shane's side of things and kind of want something instead of being like Pete where he already has her, you know? So, you know, we get to see Rick kind of do almost some Shane moves in this. Not 100%, but, you know, he kind of does some Shane type stuff around this time with Jessie and Peter, you know? But again, he has a reason to, because at least Rick with Lori, he was treating her good, you know. Shane was just doing it as he was selfish, you know. But, you know, and he kind of started to love Lori. But Rick, you know, that's the thing. Rick, you know, he cared about Lori, and he treated Lori good. Pete, on the other hand, Rick noticed that Pete really wasn't, you know. So there is that as well, and I have to kind of defend Rick in that sense. He wanted to also protect Jessie because of how much he liked her. So, yeah, and him being a constable, I mean, it makes sense. And plus, he's had to kill so many people in the zombie apocalypse. One more is not going to hurt Rick. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I'm going to end the video with that. I think Jessie's character is really awesome, and I think that, you know, if they had her go on longer, I think it would have maybe been interesting to see where they would go with that, but I liked what they did with her character for the time that she was on the show. So, thank you very much to Blind Entertainment. I know this was a longer character spotlight video than probably you guys intended for, you know, a character as small as Jessie, but I really like what they did with Rick because of Jessie being in the show and what that did for Rick and just everything like that. Really, Jessie was an awesome character throughout the show, and she really made Rick, you know, she made Rick, you know, for that season, you know, to be honest. Just, yeah, really cool stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. She made Rick make a fool out of himself, pretty much, and point a gun in front of everybody, and then Michonne knocks him out. So, yeah, and that's all for Jessie. So, thank you, Jessie. Yeah, so, anyway, guys, write your comments in the comment section below. Big shout-out to Blind Entertainment for suggesting this character spotlight video. And, of course, if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. And, of course, I will catch you guys really soon for some more Walking Dead videos. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I'll catch you guys really soon. Peace out, guys.